Hey guys, Prepare Mentality here. I wanted to give you a video on civil unrest, riots, and looting, and what to do in these type of scenarios. I know the current events have been building up in the past couple of weeks, and people aren't really sure what to do when these events happen if you're not prepared. So, my recommendations here, the first thing is I look at the hazards that are set up in these locations. So I know fire may occur. I know there might be active shooters in the crowd. I know people may use vehicles as weapons. I know people setting off fireworks and building cocktails for as weapons and bricks. Things can be thrown around. So I'm assessing all of these hazards that can occur when these events are happening. So my initial thought is to stay home. You don't want to be in the crowd. You don't want to be in the chaos. So stay home if you can. This is a great opportunity if you have a second location to go off into your second location if it's a safe zone. But if you have no secondary location, stay home and kind of, look at your surroundings and kind of know what's going on in your town, how far things are. Some great sources to look at: your news, your local news. You can also listen to the radio scanner for your local police department, and you can kind of listen in and see, what they're doing, what's happening. But definitely, you just want to be aware of these things. And if you get caught in these certain type of scenarios, because these things can happen in a moment's notice. So some people just get caught in the hype and get caught up in the chaos. So you definitely, want to know your location, know where you are, know your surroundings. Situational awareness is key in these scenarios and events, because you don't know what may happen. Anything is subject to happen anytime. So you just want to be on 10 in your awareness and in your safety. Because with civil unrest, looting, riots, safety, your health, and mental stability is key for you to kind of get out of Dodge and make sure you and your family are safe. So if you're stuck in these crowds and you're just in the hype, stay calm. That's the best thing to do. Stay calm. Don't get yourself all stressed out. Try to find a safe location where you can go and get out of the crowd. If there are no safe routes, try to do your best to protect yourself and protect whoever is with you. You guys stick together. Try to find a building or a place where you can bunker in if you're just caught up in the madness. I know a lot of times, when law enforcement shows up, they can put out tear gas and they can put out pepper balls and all types of gadgets that can definitely disperse crowds. So you might be the one who, you haven't been out there rioting or protesting or anything like that. You just caught up in the madness, but you shouldn't be out there anyway. But if you do, just things to look out for. Just be careful. Be careful. With tear gas, for civilians who have not been tear gassed or pepper sprayed, it's not a great event to happen. So it affects your eyes, it affects your breathing, it affects your skin, it irritates your skin. For some people, water works. Like, water works for me in those situations. Milk also works for others. Milk doesn't work for me for some reason. So there's no right or wrong, but I wouldn't go beyond milk or water to downgrade the irritation that the chemical is on your skin. So, and if you don't have a mask, anything else is really not going to protect you. Like a bandana, scarf, those things really don't help with tear gas or mace, anything like that. So just be aware of these things. I've noticed people commenting about What about if you're in a vehicle? If you're in a vehicle and you're coming up on a crowd, you're coming up on looters or rioters, try to go the other direction if you can. If you can't go in the other direction, you have to assess the situation from green to yellow to red to okay, we have to do something right now. If they're peaceful protesters, more than likely they'll pass you by. More than likely, they'll make a way for you to leave the area. But if they're rioters and looters and just knuckleheads that want to tear up stuff, you're probably in that yellow zone where okay, what needs to be done so we are protected and we can get out of here safely. And this is where keeping a good kit and changing your kit, at least for the events that you might be going out to, whether it be a snowstorm, whether there's a crazy rainstorm coming, thunderstorm, or if there's a riot or there's looting in the next town, just keeping some basic items in there, like face masks, like water, like gloves, like bandanas. These things is all a part of your PPE, and can help in many areas if you're out there and you just get caught up in it. So after all is said and done, the aftermath of looting and rioting and civil unrest, the stores aren't going to be there, especially if the stores are already looted. You can't get groceries, you can't get food, no water, you can't find medication, because either they're broken and tore up, and or they're just not there at all. So a lot of stores are going to be closed after they've been looted for a while. So you kind of have to assess how long you are going to be without a certain product or a certain need. And this is why we prepare. So we have our needs, we have our supplies, we have our food and water, we have our medications there for us, so we don't have to go into the chaos or the aftermath when these things happen. And so more than likely, if you don't have what you need, you're going to have to go to the next town to get supplies. And then you get into how much gas do you have? Is your local gas station shut down? And you can get into all the main pieces of trying to move to another location, trying to get through a town. So just think about those things. And so if there is no rule of law, there might not be law enforcement to assist you. There might not be fire departments. There might not be the EMS technicians. There might not be first responders to help you immediately. Just like with every other scenario in disasters, there might not be, these important things that keep up our society. So when you call 911, for example, the dispatcher may say, there's going to be a delay or we can't get to you at all. And they'll give you, some brief things that you could do in the moment to help out. But more than likely, that fire department, that EMS squad's not going to be there if your location is unsafe for them to go into. So just be aware of that. And again, this is why we prepare. And where there's absence of leadership, leaders will form, good or bad. So without rule of law, you're going to have, people who rise up and take leadership. They can be good, they can be bad, just depends. So you just want to be on the utmost height of your situational awareness and protecting you and your family. And so when all of this is said and done, we notice that there's crowds. They're all together, they're screaming, they're yelling, they're talking over each other. Fluids are being, passed around, they're sneezing, they're coughing. Diseases will spread. Who knows with this COVID-19, whether it will spark another, medical emergency. in the fall. But who knows, make sure if you're out there, if you have been in a crowd, if you have been amongst people, make sure that you contain yourself, contain your family, and kind of hunker in for a little while and see, what's going on with your body. Because that's the most important thing. If we're not healthy, if we're not fit, then we can't get out of Dodge. We can't move physically and do what we need to do to help ourselves and the people around us. And this is why we prepare. We don't want to be in the crowds. We don't want to be, rushing. We don't want to be in the midst of chaos. We don't want to be stressed out. So all these things that I mentioned, just take a list at home for you guys to kind of go over with you and your family, and make sure if you do get into these type of scenarios that you know what to do, that you're ready and you're prepared. So that wraps it up for me, guys. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope you guys are staying healthy, and you guys be blessed. Prepare mentality.